Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to another Supreme Numerics offering. Get your pen and paper ready because Mr. Westbrook's class is now in session. And today's lesson is the November 2024 Universal Month Forecast and the supreme numerical vibration of the word November, and what that means for you and how you can be in alignment with that energy. So let's get into it. If you recall from my September and October monthly forecast, I showed you how to calculate the universal month. We do that by taking the universal year, which is calculated by adding up the four digits of the current year or whatever year you want to know about. It's 2024. So you add up 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4, and that gives us an 8 universal year. You take that 8 universal year and add it to the calendar month. November's calendar month or number is 11. November is the 11th month. So when you add 8 to 11, that adds up to a 1. November is a 1 universal month. And if you look at how November is laid out, we have a lot of 1 energy. We have the double ones of November. We have the universal month being a number 1. And, we will see more ones throughout the month. We'll see a lot of number 1 energy on November 1st, 11th month, first calendar day of the month, 1 universal month. We also have November 11th, in which people will be participating in 11/11 portal rituals. Very powerful energy there. More 1, repeat 1 energy. And when you have repeated ones, that increases the intensity of what a single one would give off or represent. Now let's get into the themes. What comes up during a 1 cycle, whether that's a 1 year, 1 month, 1 day. Now, the themes for a 1 cycle, which I have listed here for the month of November, start with fresh start and new beginnings. The number 9 cycle, which we just came out of for October, was about endings, bringing things to a close, cutting off or letting go of things that no longer served us, finishing projects or activities that we started. That brings us to the 1, which is starting fresh. It's a clean slate. We advise people not to begin anything during a 9 cycle because it usually doesn't last. And whatever you start during a 1 cycle, it will follow you for the next 9 months or the next 9 years, whether based on whether it's a monthly cycle or a yearly cycle. In this case, what you start now in November will plant the seed for the next 9 months. And you see planting seeds down here towards the bottom. But this is your time, this is your opportunity to start anew, to start fresh with a clean slate. If October was a little rough for you, if it was a rough month, November is your chance to start brand new. We also have independence and putting yourself first. Number 1 is all about you, or I should say me. Thinking the first person when I say me. So when you think about you, you're thinking about you. When I'm thinking about me, I'm thinking about me. When he's thinking about him, he's thinking about him. But it's about the individual, putting yourself first, making sure your needs come first. And when you go into the 2 cycle after the 1, then that's when you start to be, you start to work more with others. You start to get into that teamwork aspect, but during the 1 cycle, put yourself first. And Number one is a dynamic, forceful type of energy. So you should be taking charge of all endeavors or all areas of your life, whether it's professional, personal, whatever it is. You know how the saying goes, grab life by the horns, take control of your life. I mentioned it's a fresh start and new beginnings. It's new everything, new experiences, new relationships, new travel, new activities. Everything is new during a one cycle. So if you held off starting anything new during the nine cycle, like I advised, now is the time to start that new relationship, whether it's romantic, friendship, business relationship. It's a good time to start or pursue that new relationship. It's a good time to try something new that you never done before, whether it's a leisurely activity, a hobby, whether it's launching a new business. Start something new, try something new, experience something new during the one cycle. I mentioned planting seeds. Put the seeds in the ground, cover it with the dirt, water it, and then when the two cycle comes around, things will start budding. Three cycle comes around, the fruit starts to blossom and come about. But the one cycle is about planting those seeds that will grow into their full realized selves or manifestations by the time you get to the ninth universal month. In terms of health, pay close attention to the eyes, the lungs, the heart, the circulation. When it comes to circulation in the heart, I think about heart health. I think about cardio. So get your exercise, get your movement in. The number one is an active, like I said, forceful, active, dynamic type of energy. So get that physical activity in, sweat, all that good stuff. Make sure you're eating well, you're drinking enough water, not eating too much salt and things like that. Because like I mentioned, the heart, the lungs, the circulation, and things of that nature. Now, who will be the beneficiaries of this universal month? It can be anyone, depending on your actions, what you do, how you vibrate, whether you're vibrating on the higher energy or the lower energy, even if you're going through a challenge cycle. But the group of us that will benefit the most, as long as they're vibrating on the higher side and taking charge of their lives and putting themselves first and trying new things, will be those that are born on the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, or the 28th of any month, and also those who fall under the sign of Leo and also Aries in the way as well. So those are your themes for the month of November. Now let's get into the numerical breakdown of the word November and how you can be in alignment with the energy of November, what you can do, and to make the most out of this month. And as always, I break down my names, my words in both systems of numerology. I have the Chaldean up here in the blue and the Pythagorean system here in the green. So starting with the Chaldean system, when I add up the word November, it adds up to a 36-9. Now let me read to you the meaning of the 36, and I will go to Numbers Decoded, Cards Unfolded by Jackie Levine, since she has the nice and concise meaning of the compound numbers. So when we go to the number 36. When we go to the number 36, it says 36 is favorable, providing authority, power, and success to all who use their gifts justly. Is universally giving, caring, compassionate, and calls for charity to others. 36 can be easily offended, experiencing many ups and downs. So, what November is here to share with us and teach us is that just like we did in October, with October being a 9 universal month, we have to get into that humanitarian, tap into that humanitarian side of ourselves, in which we're giving unto others. I think I mentioned, giving of your time, your talent, and your treasures. But be giving, be caring and compassionate. All of the similar energies and meanings of the number 9. Again, we need to be not October. Well, October did teach us to be patient, but October in the sense of the universal month, not the vibration of the word, but the vibration of the word November is teaching us to be patient too. I told you back in October, we have to be wary of our tempers, having quick tempers, making hasty decisions, getting into conflicts, fights, arguments with people. The same applies to November. We have to exercise patience. We have a major holiday in November, Thanksgiving, and I noticed that people tend to act crazy, especially on the road. I talked about those car accidents in October, but people tend to act crazy on the road around major holidays. And I forgot to mention with the giving and the service part of the 36-9 that you often find people in the giving mood during November around the Thanksgiving holiday, and that's regardless of whether you celebrate Thanksgiving or whether you see it as a holiday based on genocide. But we know people give out turkeys, people give out clothing and coats during or around the Thanksgiving holiday. So maybe that's based on the energy of November. Adding up to a 36-9, people are in the giving mood. I don't know. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not. But anyway, that service piece and that patience, exercising that patience, during November. That's what November is here to teach us and here to share with us. And the last piece I'll add about the number 9 energy being tied to inspiration. I talked about inspiration in October for that 9 universal month. November is also teaching us or telling us or sharing with us that in order to be in alignment with that vibration, we should be inspirational to ourselves, inspirational to others. Now, going to the Pythagorean breakdown, it adds up to a number 4. So to put it all together, I see all these numbers working together. I see the vibration of the word working alongside the universal energy and the Chaldean energy. So I would say, as you're going into your fresh start, as you're having new experiences, launching that business, traveling, pursuing or building that new relationship, it all requires work. The number 4 is associated with work. The number 4 is also telling us that We need to think innovatively, which is characteristic of the number one, but it's also a characteristic of the number four, as the number four is associated with visionary, out of the box, forward thinking. So as we're taking charge of our lives, as we're engaging in these new experiences, as we're launching new projects and businesses, we want to think out of the box and think creatively about how we go about those things. The number four energy in November. November is also sharing with us and teaching us to have a practical approach as we're engaging and participating in these new experiences. It's here to share with us and tell us that we need to plan out everything that we want to do. Every new endeavor, every new experience that we want to go into or start during this one universal month, we need to plan it out and not do things all willy-nilly and on the fly. Plan out what you want to do and how you want to accomplish your goals for this month. And had another note here: organization. Well, planning and organization go hand in hand. November is here to show us that we need to be organized in all of our planning, all of our endeavors, projects, and things of that nature. So to put it all together, one universal month of November, it's a fresh start. It's a time to begin something new. But as we're beginning something new, keep in mind, let me run that back. Because I wanted to bring in that idea of service too. So I mentioned putting yourself first. Yes. Putting yourself first under this one energy, but November is also telling us to think of others. So yes, we should put ourselves first, take charge of our lives, put ourselves first, but don't forget about others. Still be of service to others, but balance out putting ourselves first. And inspiring others in the process. And as we're engaging in these new experiences and pursuing these new endeavors for this month, make sure that we're putting in the work, make sure that we're planning out what we want to do, make sure that we're organized, make sure that we're using a practical, creative approach, and make sure that we approach everything practically. So that's the energy. That's the forecast for the month of November. As a side note, I wanted to mention this earlier, but I forgot to mention this earlier about November. Just some basic tidbits about November to go along with or to supplement the breakdown of the vibration of the month based on the word. Of course, November is the 11th month, but before January and February were added to the Roman calendar, I believe it was. We're on the Gregorian calendar now, but prior to the Gregorian calendar, before January and February were added to the calendar, November was the 9th month, and you'll notice the NOV. That is not the prefix, but that root. The root of that word means 9. Just in case, some of you all are thinking, well, November was originally the 9th month. Well, I don't know about originally, but prior to the calendar that we use now, it was the 9th month. But we've been using this Gregorian calendar for hundreds and hundreds of years. We're more affected by November being the 11th month than we are with it being the 9th month. So that was just another tidbit that I wanted to add in there. to go with this breakdown of November. So that's all I have for the universal energy. Of course, the month affects us on more intimate ways when we get into the personal cycles. Now, if you want to know your personal cycles, you can book a consultation with me and I can go even more in depth about the themes that are relevant to specifically you based on your personal month, personal year, personal day, personal week cycles. Okay. But let's make November a great one and enjoy those new experiences. And, I will that the experiences and the seeds that you plant now be positive seeds that manifest something beautiful for you months down the line. And I would say that, a lot of people do New Year's resolutions. They start their new experiences, their new past, the new journeys on January 1st. But why not start it this month in November so you have the momentum already when you hit January? And when you hit January, you'll be coming into heavy one energy once again. It will be the first month of the year, and there'll also be a number one universal month again, as 2025 will be a 9 universal year. 9 plus the first calendar month equals 10, which makes it another one universal month. So you can kind of get a running start now by starting your new goals and objectives in November. You'll have the momentum, hit the ground running in January. And if things didn't start off as smoothly as you like them to in November, you can make adjustments and essentially start over or start over some aspect of what you started in November, and just driving to 2025 strong. But that's all I got. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support, and continue striving to be the best version of yourself. Peace.